Hello, again I came with my another video. In this video I would like to share the most important part of GS paper, and if you are going to have that subject as an optional, so these all things will help you a lot whatever I am going to share it today, right? And that is your Indian history. Preparing modern Indian history for the UPSC prelims requires a focused strategy, as it is a crucial and high scoring section for the UP's aspirants. One can follow a step-by-step guide to yield good result from this section in the prelims exam. Understanding syllabus in prelim exam for Indian history can be taken as a modern Indian history as provided by UPSC. The official syllabus prescribed by UPSC is History of India and Indian National Movement. The students here have to note that History of India include ancient and medieval history and art and culture along with modern Indian history also. As part of the syllabus, UPSC has given special place and importance to Indian national movement, which suggests that the student have to give adequate weightage to the phase of Indian national movement separately, right? The second point is, in the last 10 years from 2015 to 2024, a total of 65 questions have been asked in the UPSC prelims, which makes it relevant to clear the exam. Also, as compared to other subjects, it is much easier to be covered and comprehend, right? So here, if I am going to explain it out, so you can take it as 2015. If I am going to say, just I am taking the year's name and the total of questions came, right? In 2015, 8 questions came. In 2016, 6 questions. 2017, 7 questions. 2018, 13 questions. 2019, 6 questions. 2020, 9 questions. 2021, 7 questions. 2022, 4 questions. 2023, 3 questions. 2024, 2 questions. So as a whole, 65 questions came till now from this particular part, right? So that means you have to very clear about this, right? You have to very clear about this. Now third point is important and recurrent themes in modern India history for the aspirants. This section has some of the, whenever we talk about the section, we have to see these things are very important. For the aspirants, this section has some of the recurrent and often asked themes by UPSC, like British acts and policies, Gandhian phase, economic impact of British rule, etc. If mastered by the students, then to an extent, they can be ensured short in some of the questions asked in the prelims exam. The students, apart from the recurrent themes, can also prepare certain important and key focus areas in modern Indian history, like the tribal and the peasant uprising, social, religious reform movements, important leaders and personalities like Gandhi, Nehru, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, etc. The fourth point is availability and right section and selection also of this section of sources for modern Indian history. So my dear students, you all have a variety of sources to choose from on the basis of their level of preparation. Like for the initial head start, one can start with. So what are the points which you have to keep in your mind while preparing? First point, reading NCERT of class 8th and 12th. Class 8, our past 3, part 1 and part 2, and class 12, themes in Indian history 3, for basic and with the best conceptual understanding in a very lucid and easy manner, right? Next point is, if one has basic understanding, then he or she can advance to standard text books like Bipin Chandra's India's Struggle for Independence or Spectrum's A Brief History of Modern India or one more writer is there, Sekhar Bandyopadhyay's Policy to Partition, to add on more facts and understandings, right? And the fifth point as role of test series and practicing MCQs, including UPSC PYQs, previous year questions. The students, to make their preparation in history more foolproof, can take the help of the test series, especially the sectional test. The sectional test provides to the student the coverage required in the subject along with variety of questions. Second point, also the explanation, especially in a subject like modern Indian history, come very handy and useful as they aid the student to cover the important and necessary facts. Third point, solving previous year UPSC prelims questions help identify recurring themes and topics and familiarize the student with questions patterns. Sixth point, prepare chronological notes. That is, it should be with the theme of the chronology for major events like different phases of Indian national movement, run-up phase to the partition of India, and Constitution Act and policies enable the student to develop interlinkage in the subject, which further leads to effective and precise question solving in the examination hall. Use timelines. Point number 7, use of visual aid like watching documentaries or YouTube videos for a visual understanding of movements and event help in better relatability in this section, especially because you have to say that which one is related to what part in this section. You have to give somewhat focus, right? And the point number 8 is recent trends and varied sources used in the UPSC prelims exam for modern history. First point is, there is also seen a link with important events and news in the question asked in the modern history section. To tackle these articles covered in the standard newspaper like the Hindu, Indian Express, etc. can also be seen by the students. Also, any historical personality or even 100 or 150 etc. anniversary should be considered important, as many questions on these lines are being asked in the prelims exam. Third point, an important website is called, you see here now, amritmahotsav.nic.in, which is repository of the important historical events and contribution of historical personalities launched in the wake of the celebrating 75 years of Indian independence, holds a special significance, right? And point number 9, revision on a regular basis. That revision is very indispensable, since this subject is a fact loaded. Frequent and consistent revisions can help students in better remembering of facts. Also, the students can make short and crisp notes using flashcard, etc. to aid in quick and effective multiple revisions. These are the points which are very important, as you know. That means while doing the history, as I've already told you, because this is a major part and it's a very interesting subject as well, because you can say that when you go through the history, like as you know, when you go through the history, so just try to visualize it also, because these all are like a story. So whenever you go through this, just think that and try to visualize that particular moment also in front of you. That is all about your creativity. I am telling you, if you are very strong, you are very robust in creativity, then you can make a very good story related to that. That is by performing the law of association, right? So that means with the help of the law of association, you can associate any event with any particular event of the history, and then you can make it more interesting. That is going to be very, as you know, that will create a lot of interest in you to go further and further. You will not get any boredom while doing so. So these all of the things are very important while going through the history part, right? So now the next, of course, in the next part, I will explain you, that means what are the other things which are in the part of the GS, general studies, that you are going to get interest in that. Of course, in history also, I am going to give you some method by which you will get a lot of interest, how you are going to make it concise, and how you are going to keep in your memory the dates and all in this. That means you see here, you can learn a lot of things by visualizing anything in a very awkward manner, right? So that means I will tell you that how you are going to think anything like in a very awkward way to keep in memory for a long time, right? So this is a very interesting subject, and I'm very sure that if you are going to follow these rules, whatever the rules I have already told you, then you are going to attend every questions, because as I already told you, the 65 question came till now in the paper. So right, if you are going to go through this part of the history, so you will get this much of questions, of course, in your prelims exam, and it is going to help you a lot to clear the exam with the flying colors. Okay, thank you very much. We are going to meet in the second video. Thank you.